We are live.
Ho,
Good
ho,
evening.
ho!
It is the eve of Christmas Eve, and myself and Jane decided to watch ourselves a festive flick. And yeah, boy, what a movie! What a movie it
It's my
was.
favorite Christmas movie of all time. Fuck God blesses everyone. It's where the deep dish incest cookies is where it's at. Am I right, people?
I don't know if that's something people really want to be kind of engaging in on Christmas Eve.
I
Or,
do.
well, that makes sense because you're nuts. But just in general, babe,
And it's not just the flesh incest cookies, Marty. There are so many things about this movie that I fucking love, including something you and I were talking about when we were watching this film. Is it is just dripping with Christmas, just atmosphere. Every fucking shot has brightly lit Christmas lights all over the place. Snow. Anytime there's a window, there's snow just coming down. It's literally like a fucking cum fest outside. Like Mother Nature is coming her brains out.
what fucking jism are you fucking? Do you
The
speak
snow,
of?
Marty, it's a metaphor. You know, snow's like cum. So like Mother Nature is like coming. That's what snow is, kids. It's Mother Nature cum.
Are you saying there's some kind of weird maternal theme?
Exactly, exactly. It's about family, Marty. This is about you're my family now. And since we watched this and that means every holiday you're going to get so sick of this movie because this is the movie, my go-to Christmas movie. This is not a joke, guys. This is the movie that I have to watch every fucking year. And it has, like, if you've had a shit year, this has that kind of vibe, like, fuck Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right, movie? Fuck Christmas.
I it's kind of it's definitely it's got this weird juxtaposition of it feels very festive, very warm,
Mm-hmm.
very interesting,
And
but
it's in on the joke.
it is, but it's incredibly mean spirited. I mean,
Yes.
super mean spirited.
Yes, yes. And I think that's good because, like, yes, it is like, it is good to be hopeful and to have those movies, those feel good movies, whether it be something like Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, Miracle on 34th Street, or It's a Wonderful Life. Some people need that hope and stuff, but there are times when you're like maybe the year hasn't been the best, right, guys? And the mean spiritedness is kind of cathartic. Like for me, when she says fuck Christmas and there's a couple other digs at Christmas, I'm like, I feel you, movie. And I think that's why this movie works so well. It's like it has a different kind of vibe to it. And sometimes Christmas, Christmas is a holiday where a lot of people kill themselves. It's not always happiness and Frosty the Snowman and cookies. Fa la 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 la.
Oh god. So yeah. Also, big hello to Horror Cat Dad.
Hello.
Awesome dude, awesome friend of the channel, has an awesome channel himself. Um, I remember initially watching this and fucking hating it, but then I rewatched it and I was like, this movie is fucking way more smarter than it has to be. Any right to be. Any fucking right to be.
Yes, and when this movie first came out, but it was weird though, Marty, because like critics and stuff panned this movie, but I was lucky. I've told you this story before, but I was lucky enough to get to see this in the theater, and it was like a day or two after Christmas, and like the theater for the time of the year, there was a good little group of people in the theater, and everybody was laughing and having a really good time. People were laughing at certain parts, and everyone was having a really good time. And so, like, when I came out and started hearing reviews of it and things, I was like, where are you people getting this from? Everybody in my theater had a blast.
It's I think like the thing is there was two things that went against this movie. Studio interference, because this movie was cut to pieces. I know that Glenn Morgan, who created this movie, directed this movie, said he had a vision. He had something more akin to a Jallo,
Mm-hmm.
and
And you can tell that a little bit. Like, it's
yeah,
still some of it bled through.
yeah, but the studio butchered at the bits. There was one of those classic things where there's a trailer where shit doesn't happen. For example, in the trailer, famously, there's two famous scenes with Michelle Trachtenberg's character.
Mhm.
Um, she has a shotgun and she's like, Merry fucking Christmas. And then Lacey Cuthbert is like tangled up in Christmas lights and being dragged into a shredding machine. We've seen both versions of this movie, and myself and Jen can confirm none of this shit happens.
I wish it must have got left on the cutting room floor, and that's a goddamn shame. But they still, to the movie's credit, even though
No,
with this
no,
sort of reminds me
Jen,
of the
Jen,
oh sorry.
Jen. Those scenes were shot specifically for the trailer, and Glenn Morgan never wanted them in. It was to make It was to make the movie look more exciting. It was to make the movie look like something
Uh
it wasn't.
Okay, I get what you mean. I see. I hadn't heard that. What I like about this movie though is just that even though those didn't get made it into the movie, we still get some really cool, neat holiday kills and holiday shots. I fucking love the icicle on the porch kill, and I also love how Billy drags his mother with lighted Christmas lights. And how are they lighted when he's dragging them? I don't fucking know, but it looks fucking cool. And I mean,
Extension. There might be an extension lead, babe. It might be plugged into an extension lead.
possibly, but there's a lot of like, really neat Christmas atmosphere, and it really does. It's both whimsical, like you said, it's super mean spirited, but it's also very whimsical. Like it's wrapped one way and something else is totally different inside it. And I like the duality of this movie. I love this movie. And like you said, I think this movie is way smarter than people gave it credit for.
Yeah, it again. The cast is, for the most part, a lot of the cast is it's a byproduct of the late 90s, early to mid 2000s. So you have a bunch of gorgeous looking girls being picked off
Mhm.
one at a time. But what you do get is, and they are TV actresses. You've Katie Cassidy, who you might know from Arrow. She was also in the terrible remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, and she was actually fairly good in that.
Yeah.
She does a there's so many kind of characters. I'm just gonna bring up the tin so I know the name of the characters, because there's actually something very cute with the way the characters are named as well. So sorry about this, Jen. I'm probably deviating from what you
No, no,
wanted.
no, no, no. This is something that I didn't even know it, and it's a cool piece of trivia.
So Katie Cassidy, as you know, she was from Arrow, and she was the terrible Nightmare on Elm Street. Her character's name is Kelly Presley. Okay. Michelle Trachtenberg, who you know from Euro Trip, and famously she played Dawn in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She plays Melissa Kitt. Lacey Cuthbert from Party, no, not Party 5. What's the one with Matthew Fox? And he has to, no, is it a Party of 5 where the older brother has to look after
I
the
think
younger
it's Party
kid?
of Five. I think it's
Party of
Party.
5. She was the little girl in that, and she's in Mean Girls. She plays Dana Mattis, and who else? Leah Savasta plays Claire Crosby, and is there anyone else? There's probably more characters as well. If anyone knows in the chat, all of them, their last names seem to be named after people who had Christmas songs. So you've
Famous
Presley,
Christmas
Kiss,
song.
Crosby, and Mattis, and
Mhm.
there's more as well. Um,
Cute. It's
Luke,
a cute play on words. Again, this movie is way cleverer than most people give
yeah,
it credit for.
it is. Also, there's a bit of connective tissue to the original 1974. Am I getting the date right, babe?
I believe so. Yes.
74. Who is the actress that plays the house mother?
She's just someone. She's one of the women that was in the original Black Christmas. I'm not. The names weren't. I don't remember, but she was. It is a cool nod, and even if you don't know her name, if you've watched the Black Christmas. And I have a very hot take that might piss some people off about the original Black Christmas.
Andrea Martin, that's her name, and
Yes.
she plays Barbara McHenry.
Yes, and she's it's cool. It's a cool nod. I know some people think it might be a bit fan servicey, but I think it's a super cool nod.
Don McHenry, is he a country western singer?
Possibly.
Okay, no, I was thinking, I think I've came across another thing. Yes, we're real professional here. We've got our research fucking started. But no, yeah, this should we go into the plot, or do you want to reveal your dark secret about your
I
love with
think
this
we
movie?
should go in revealing my dark secret because I think again and this is cool. Like I know so many people in the community. The original Black Christmas is a lot of people it's their favorite holiday slasher, and some people it's their favorite movie, and that is totally cool. No hate. But and I've never really talked too much. You can always tell when Jen like I'm not trying to be a jerk, so I'll just get real quiet about it if it's a beloved movie. I'm not that big on the original Black Christmas. I respect it, and it's a very smart movie. Like we are dealing with women's rights, and we're dealing with it has a subplot for abortion, and there's a lot of cool things. And John Saxton's in it. There's a lot of cool things. I do not hate the original Black Christmas, but I'm always bored with it. If I'm going to be honest, I sit there and I think it's a little long, a little drawn out. This is if I'm going to have a Christmas movie, this is the kind of Christmas movie I want that doesn't take itself so seriously. I don't necessarily think I want these issues in a Christmas movie. Very cool, very of its time, and very progressive for its time. But for me, I just want to have fun. It's fucking Christmas. I just want to have a good time. And that's where I think this movie gets it right. Also, fun fact, kiddos, Bob Clark was a big fan of this movie. A lot of people hated it when it came out. He actually thought it was a fan of it.
Well, this is the same guy as well who made A Christmas Story, right?
Yes, he is. He made the two most, probably the two most famous Christmas movies you could make, at least for its time.
But yeah, it's an interesting movie.
Where
That
do you
like
fall with the original Black Christmas, Marty? I don't
I'm
think
kind of with you. It is a trailblazer. A lot of people say that it kind of unfairly got kind of overshadowed by Halloween. That
Mhm.
it was the first proto slasher, and that Halloween kind of took its mantle.
Mm-hmm. Halloween definitely borrowed and took some of the things for it, and my hat's off to it. But when I hear people really, and that's cool if you really love it and stuff. But for me, I'm just like, this is a little dry and dull, guys. If I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
no,
honest, that's what I think.
you it is a product of its time. It was 1974. You
Mm-hmm.
had the likes of Olivia Hussey, Margaret Kidder,
Beautiful woman.
you fantastic women. But one thing I always say, a cardinal sin for a horror. I rather have a stupid interest in horror than
Then
one
be
that's
bored.
boring.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this movie is stupid. Originally, I thought this movie was stupid. When you go watch it again, it's a lot cleverer than you might think. Um, but this movie is a lot more interesting, and
And
it's
it's
got a better
fun.
pace. Like,
Yes.
yeah, you replace you take out the post-feminist kind of drive and kind of subplots, and replace it with incest and flesh cookies. Then that's what you got
That's
with
a
this.
what that like I know I'm a woman and stuff and girl power and all that, but give me a story with incest flesh cookies and you got my attention way more than Go Girls. If I'm gonna be honest, it might be a super hot take, but that's a way more interesting storyline to me. I'm sorry.
No, you're right, because like it's there's there's a lot that I think there's a lot that can be taken from this as well. For example, there's a brilliant scene where Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character is discussing how kind of messed up the whole tradition that their fraternity has
Yes,
for
and they're
for
oh, I'm
what.
sorry. No, no, no. It is. I fucking loved that scene when I first saw it in the theater. The one where where the one girl's like, it's not. They're uncomfortable because they give a present out to Billy, and this Southern princess goes, "I'm just a little creeped out by doing this and stuff. It just doesn't seem very Christmassy." And this drunk girl, who, like you said, is basically reprising the role from the first movie, says, there's really nothing Christian in this. It's all pagan things. And as someone who kind of is dipped dipping into that. I really appreciated that. I thought that was such a cool scene. But this whole movie, Marty, like that's a little bit ahead. This whole movie, the opening scene, I fucking love. And it kind of, the movie lets you know right away what kind of movie it is when we've got the opening shot with the insane asylum and the Christmas wreath. You know, it's just, I thought that was such a cool shot, and it already kind of lets you, it's laying its cards on the table. And then you have an orderly going down saying happy holidays, you know, and Merry Christmas. And then we get to one cell and a guy that looks like Jesus goes, behold, and he goes, happy birthday. I fucking adore that line. That joke, I've heard it a million times, watch it every Christmas, and it still makes me laugh. I fucking love that.
It is funny. It is funny, and it's cute. And there's some other funny moments.
Yes, we have the perversion of Santa telling a nurse, you know, if she sat on his lap, would he give her what she wanted for Christmas? And they're doing the candy cane with phallics. It's just, there's a lot of phallic symbols in this movie, especially with a unicorn horn.
I thought the thing I liked was where your one came down, the kind of nerdy girl. And it was only when you pointed it out that she gives Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character, the unicorn, goes, oh, I thought you might like this because you read the Bible and stuff. And it's like, what?
But see, again, this movie, like you said, this movie is so much smarter because this whole scene, and like in real life, I would say fuck these people because like the whole room, all these pretty girls are like watching this kind of ugly duckling who, as the den mother says, her mother was a legacy, which I think is a funny line too, and stuff. And they're all looking at her, and even though they don't say anything mean, you know, they think you don't belong here, honey, and stuff. And there's just this really thick, I mean, the air is just thick with this kind of judgment stuff. And like in real life, fuck those people. But in the movie, it's so fun. And you get that this character is so awkward and uncomfortable. And you feel sorry for her because she's looking around. She's basically like an ugly duckling in all these swans. And I really love that. Again, that in a lesser movie wouldn't have been done and handled as masterfully as it is.
Yeah, it would have been a bit too mean spirited, but like,
yeah,
you know, we don't.
And it is mean spirited, like, but you as escapism through the movie, you can kind of enjoy the mean girls, but you also feel sorry for poor Agnes because you know deep down she knows she don't belong here.
Yeah. The other thing I kind of like,
I'm sorry, not Agnes.
Eve. Agnes is the thing. One thing I kind of think they missed a beat with, and this is just myself. They put in the red herring kind of thing.
Yes,
they try and put in a lot of red herrings. But here's the thing, and again, I do like this movie. I've reappraised this movie, and I reappreciate this movie. But the red herrings are kind of pointless because we know who the fuck are doing the killings.
True, but like this also, I when every time I watch it, especially the older I get, the more I think this is also kind of a throwback to like the 80s movies, particularly Silent Night. Like it's done way better, but you still get that kind of vibe, you know, that what I mean, and stuff. And so we're kind of doing some things that might be a little cliched, but they're fun. And like, yeah, we know that they're just throwing up red herrings, but fuck it, it's fun. This is a fuck it, it's fun movie. Logic, I don't give it as hard as I would a different type of movie. This is a fun slasher Christmas movie that is, like you said, way smarter than it is. And I know I'm biased because this is one of my favorite movies. I fucking love this movie.
Now here's the interesting thing. Myself and Jen watched two different versions of it, and some of the kills were very varied. One character, I do wish that I'd seen Jen's version because I do find like some of the kills are kind of similar. Again, Jen's probably like, I thought he said he liked this movie. I do like the movie, but it just, a lot of the kills are just Agnes putting a bag over someone's head and stabbing them or pulling out their eye. Your version had Michelle Trachtenberg's character get scalped with an ice skate.
Yes, Yes, and it's a really good scene, and I can understand some gorehounds because like we see stuff, but it could have gone more bloody. Like there's with the Southern Princess, in the car, and it's just someone throwing up a big old thing of red on the windshield, but it's charming to me. It's charming. I can understand, and I'm a gorehound too. I fucking love my gore, but this is kind of charming. It's a throw. It feels like a throwback to certain things that I grew up with. It's kind of paying a nod, like it's the early 2000s version of doing something, a little bit of nodding of some of the 80s that came before it. That's how I always look at it anyway.
Had you a favorite character in the movie?
Okay, you're gonna not like me, but you know how I said the one boyfriend who looks to me, he looks like a Seth Green kind of.
He
I
looks more like he looks more like Jake Gill. He looks like fucking Walmart Jake Gyllenhaal.
I can see that too. I like that. And again, I think it's this mean spiritedness that I like. And when he's telling the story and everyone's mad at him and he's like, "You spoiled rich bitches. I lived here. This house scared everybody on the street when I was a kid." And he calls them, rich bitches. I just like his swagger. And like even when he knows he's caught, because one of the subplots is he's basically doing two girls at the same time, stringing them along. Not only that, but he videotapes their sex. I guess Girls Gone Wild was popular at the time, so they kind of got that in there. And
That wouldn't fly.
one in the current girlfriend catches him and stuff. But the weird thing is I buy it from this actor. He goes, "You were different. I actually really liked you." And I've been told I don't have the best judgment with this stuff, but part of me would be like, maybe he really means it. The way the actor sells it. Now he's not I really enjoy his character. I also really like our one gal who I said was so pretty with the dark hair. I think you said she was a glamour girl. Gilmore Girl, not glamour girl. Gilmore Girl. The really
No. Was it the one who got killed underneath the porch?
No, it was the one that gets her that's got the skate in her head. I thought she was
that's
pretty.
Michelle Trachtenberg. That she
Yeah.
was in Buffy. She was
Yeah.
Dawn in Buffy, and she was in Eurotrip. I don't think she was in much else after that.
She's just super pretty, and I liked her. And like I like that she helped her drunk friend and took care of her, and how she called the Southern Belle kind of a fucking bitch for wanting to leave everybody, and going to the cops instead of sticking together like sisters would do. I liked her, and she also reminded me of me, because when the one sister comes in, she goes, "I love your coat," and I'm like, I feel you.
That was they were cool characters. They weren't like, even though some of them were very shallow, Mary Elizabeth Winstead and stuff, you could kind of see where she was coming from. She wasn't a total fucking up her own whole bitch. Like
No.
they were just in a very extreme situation.
They were. But again, there's so many funny parts. Like again, even though it's how mean-spirited this movie is, there's kind of a weird, heart. And again, it is about family. Another character I fucking love is Billy's mom that we get in the flashbacks. Like again, fuck you if you do this in real life, but I can't. The actress in me loves how she does it, and they've got her right by the Christmas tree, and she's got a cigarette, and she just hates her kid and her husband, and she goes, "What are you getting so excited for? Santa ain't coming to see you." And then she kind of dramatically pauses and goes, "The Russians shot down his sleigh." And like, again, horrible if you do that in real life to your poor kid. But as a movie fan, I'm like, oh my God, I feel you. That is awesome.
She like of all the trashiness she did, like between like fucking riding her son.
War.
Riding her son and fucking killing her husband with her fucking pisshead step boyfriend. I think the thing that fucking ran home that this woman is pure fucking trash is she's lighting her cigarette on the fucking stove with the cooker. I'm like, jeez, you disgust me.
And there's a griminess I love in all the flashback scenes. The house, like, it's not like a hoarder's house or anything, but there's this griminess.
It looks like no one really fucking looks after the place.
Yeah, and she kind of looks a little grimy herself. And there's just, and like you said, there's a great scene when she does get her daughter that she always wants, and she really tries and she loves her daughter, but there's a part of her that's even disgusted because, she's an incest baby. And the actress does it beautifully. Also, Marty, another thing I love about this Christmas movie is we have a mother taking baby's first Christmas ornament and crushing it and sprinkling it in the goddamn the cradle with the baby. And it's just like, this is awesome. It's fucked up, but oh my god, a mother trying to kill her infant baby on Christmas. Wee!
I always got the feeling, right, because Billy's father was a Marine. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, did his fucking testicles get a dose of Agent Orange over in fucking Vietnam? He was
I
over in
kind of wonder if it's her though, because in a few shots she looks a little yellow to me. Maybe it's just the way I saw it, but I always thought it probably came more from her than from him.
maybe it's her cigarettes and his dose of Agent Orange from Nam.
It
And the sad
probably
thing is, I always got the feeling that Billy was going to turn out that Billy wasn't a bad guy, and that it was
You tell
Agnes
me.
that had killed the. What I would have done was have Agnes kill her mother and fucking Billy stab her in the eye. Billy's taken to prison. She's taken to kind of an adoption place, and then she goes back to the house, and it's actually Billy going back to confront his sister.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily hero, maybe he
And
does.
her daddy and his daughter.
Yeah, it's Jesus. Yeah, do you want to discuss that scene?
Sure. So like right after Mommy Dearest, tells them that they shot down the sleigh, and after Billy witnesses his mom and future new stepdad murdering his dad, and they've had married life for a while. There's this great scene of a couple of the mom and the new stepdad having sex on the stairs, but the father, and you wonder if maybe the new stepdad is so repulsed by her, the only way he can engage with her is if he gets drunk. But you know how alcohol does on penises, Marty, it just goes blah. And so like she goes every goddamn time, and she's riding him up on the stairs, right? But she can't get off, and she really wants a kid that ain't yellow. So and then all of a sudden you hear this squeak of the rocking chair, right? And you get set to Christmas music, which again is so fun. It's just these little touches that just endear me so much. And so she goes up because she keeps him up in the attic with a padlock, undoes it, and you can see, and it's much like Serbian film. It doesn't show anything, but it just gives you enough to see to leave to your imagination. And you see her old spindly legs in this kind of dirty, nightie or whatever, and she climbs up on top of them, and neither one of them say a word, and you hear the squeak of the rocking chair. And then you get a thing that says 9 months later, baby, she's my family now. It's just so charming.
It's like Jesus Christ. Again, it's got balls. The movie's got balls. I'll give it that.
It's got big yellow balls, big yellow daddy brother balls.
God damn it, Jen. God damn it.
I love it. You do not know how happy this movie always puts me in such a good mood at the holidays, because holidays are not my jam whatsoever. I just kind of have to endure them. But like whenever I watch this movie, and again I love it when one of the characters says "fuck Christmas," I just am like, yay, this is my Miracle on 34th Street. I fucking love it. I make no apologies.
No, again, I've come to appreciate and like this movie, and the fact that the movie had balls to do so between that
Uncle
and then
and
Billy
balls.
deciding to make cookies.
And cookies, and then we get another flashback later on in the movie about what happens, and basically that Billy might be jealous of his sister. And again, that scene you were talking about where the mom is giving her a Christmas doll and stuff like that, and she wants to connect with her daughter, and she goes, and that is the creepiest thing, where she's like, do you want a cookie? You're my cookie, and I could just gobble you up, and she can't even bear to touch her. Like she almost like
Yeah.
she's gonna pat her cheek, but it stops short there. And then she gets a phone call and Merry Christmas with a cigarette dangling out of her mouth. And then she's my family now. And then Billy, and then the stepdad, and where's Agnes? And then we get the scene with the stepdad being killed again, and then the mom. And again, I fucking love the scene of Billy dragging his dead mommy by colored Christmas lights. It's so whimsical. It's so I mean, it's perfect in a Christmas movie. It's just so fucking whimsical. And then Billy, and you see the shot of him opening up the drawers, and he gets some fucking Christmas cookie cutters, and they're angels, Marty. They're angels. So you have the sinner and the profane and the beauty of Christmas, yin and yang, if you will. And then he starts smashing the cookie cutters into her back flesh and puts them on a baking pan and puts them in a piping hot oven. And then you get another scene of them sitting at the kitchen table. And I love it. Like they add the grease and the fat, from her, the greasy fat and the gristle. And he's like, and he's dipping it in milk, and these are baked, and he's just doing that. And the cops come in, are like, what the fuck? Holy fucking shit. I just fucking love it. Wee! Makes me want to have some cookies, actually.
I better watch my back.
Marty, do you like it? Do you see the fun?
I admit, I thought it was cool. I thought it was ballsy. I don't know though. Like again, I know there was stuff that Morgan did that wasn't put in the movie, and there was stuff that was put in the movie that he wasn't 100% gone on. I don't know where he lands with that scene.
I hope he's a genius if he's okay with it, because that is the most brilliant Christmas scene I've ever seen in my life. And no matter how many times I watch it, I just get this. It's like, man, the child is coming back out of me at Christmas, and I'm like just enchanted. And no matter how many times I see it, I'm like, wee, this is so much fun.
I want to check something, because there's a vibe I get off the movie that is very reminiscent of a famous banned episode of The X-Files.
Okay.
Called Home, about a family of inbreds.
I know which one you're talking about.
Excellent. Just maybe because I kind of got that vibe off it, and I'd say, let's see, yeah, Glenn Morgan wrote this episode.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
I would say that he had some influence from the X-Files when doing this.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, for so much for the better. I mean, it just has all these, just perversion and, just fucking stuff that a lot of people might go, whoa. But if you're not the biggest fan of Christmas, this movie is super cathartic. I think people who are not the biggest fans of Christmas can really appreciate this one and even go, oh, this is a fun time. This is my kind of Christmas movie. Is it a movie for you, Marty, that you can watch every year? Because I
can watch it, because when I used to work in retail, not Toy Master now. I love working in Toy Master, but when I was working in a big a store that I won't mention, I fucking hated Christmas. I was the biggest fucking Scrooge ever, and despite me not liking the movie, I was like, yeah, the festive bitches fucking take this kind of thing. It's just I think if you are someone who's kind of sick of the saccharine kind of Rankin Bass and the fucking, there's only so many times you can watch Elf.
Yes.
Check this out.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there's nothing wrong. Again, I'm not being a hater on people who love Christmas. Find your joy wherever you can, people. It's just that for some people, I think that's something that people tend to forget. Some people, Christmas is for multitudes of reasons, can't be good for them. And so I think you also need these ones that just, it blows off some steam. It kind of just lets you blow off some steam and have a little fun. And I really appreciate it. I kind of wish we had more movies like this at Christmas. Not that we don't. There are some other great Christmas movies, but there's never been anything that has topped this particular movie for me.
I like this would be high up on the tier of Christmas horrors, but I think Krampus for me would be the kind of the one that hold on. Krampus and Gremlins. I don't know.
I get that. I get that. A lot of people are with you on both of those counts. And those are fun, good movies too, but they don't have incest flesh cookies, so they're
No,
not
they
quite
don't.
as
They don't. It's definitely better than Santa Slays, although I still like Santa Slays with Goldberg. Um,
But weirdly, let's flip on the other side of the coin because I actually do like, again, it's kind of, we might miss it because the movie is doing so much fun things, but there are a couple scenes that are genuinely kind of very heartfelt because it is about family and stuff. And there's a scene where, one of them is an only child, so she doesn't know what it's like to have brothers and sisters and have that bond. And the other sister, she's fearing that her own sister's dead. And she's like, you don't even know what it's like to have brothers and sisters. And she's like, she does. She has a sister. And it's a very good scene. And there's a couple of others about that it's actually, despite all of the flesh incest and, murder, trying to murder your infant baby, there are some scenes with some heart in it. You just have to really pay attention to catch those. But they're not, I think the reason why they work for me is because they're not so saccharine and sweet. They're very genuine and they're believable. It works for me.
I do think that like the more grim and horrific things go in this movie, the more it's kind of encouraging people. Yeah, like Christmas is shit, but it could be fucking worse. You could be in this fucking house with these two fucking lunatics. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, there's things that it can in a weird way make you appreciate what you got. But I don't know. I have so much fun with this movie every year, and I'm not someone who does a lot like can rewatch a movie every single year. In fact, I think this is the only one where that's the exception for me. I love this movie.
and so I'm guessing this would be number one for you, then the
Hmm.
year 74 original, and then the do you want to touch
Oh,
on at um the attempt at the remake?
that one. Yeah, with Colt and Terry Elwes, and all fucking men are bad. Which, like, okay, the director, in fairness, Christian did do a little research on the director of that one, and it came from a good place. And like, she, was recovering from stuff. And if anyone saw that movie and was therapeutic or helpful, awesome, then that's cool. But that movie is such a piece of shit. That is an abomination, and that is one Carrie Elwes does not give a fuck. And I fucking love Carrie Elwes, and he just is like, I'm doing this for a fucking paycheck, guys. And like the thing that really bothers me is that I think that movie is dangerous because I love men, and I've had some pretty bad things with men happen with me, but I still love men. I have a younger son, and so I love you, and I've known some really great guys in my life. And I think it's a really dangerous message because that movie says all men are bad. That's what that message comes out across loud and clear. And that is why I particularly hate that movie, is because it says all men are bad. And it really pisses me off because that's a dangerous thing. And that idea of everybody in a certain group is bad is a very dangerous, as we've learned from 30s and 40s history, it's a bad idea to label everyone in a certain category as bad.
It's not ideal. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not ideal.
No, it's not. How do you feel about that horror? Not that we're going to really talk, but how do you feel?
Just thought it was fucking boring. It was really fucking boring.
Yes, and so it's declawed. Basically, that movie is declawed.
And like, again, maybe it's coming back around to the X-Files again. What was the deal with the black fucking liquid?
No one knows. There's different theories, and I didn't care enough to try to deep dive into it. I didn't fucking care. I was so miserable with these movies that movie that I've only seen it the one time, and that was more than enough. More than enough. So
I think she's been accosted by dogs.
yeah.
Many dogs.
Actually, if you could just give me 1 minute,
No
darling,
bother.
thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, no, this is definitely better than the last remake, and has a lot more kind of pace and a lot more interesting things going on than just fucking, the a very again, 74 movie is seminal, and I understand people appreciate it, but I'm with Jen, and I'm like, yeah, it's a bit slow for its own liking. It's the 74 movie is a creature of its time, and keep in mind that this was the early days of kind of the slasher genre and stuff. It's just,
And
you
I'm
know,
not knocking it. Like there's a very important things about the film. It is. It's just it's one that I can't do a lot of rewatches with it, and every time I'm just like, okay, let's get on with this. There's some, but it's. I'm not hating on it though because I know a lot of people really love it.
like I think I think that the main kind of things that people always remember is the POV shots,
Yes, and
and
those are very cool. And those are very cool.
but not original, because
No.
if the movie Peeping Tom done it
Yes.
years back, but
Yes, and that is a hell. That I wish more people talked about Peeping Tom, honestly, because
yeah,
that's a
the
way
poor
better
the
movie.
guy who directed that, his career was destroyed because of that movie. Um,
Yes.
but I think maybe people really the thing that kind of the longevity, the three things that give the original 74 Black Christmas is it's Christmas horror,
Hmm.
POV shots, and the whole he's in the house all along kind of.
And that was, and that seems very, okay, been there, done that to this generation. But imagine just being there, and
In
like you said,
74, that was
yeah,
like,
it was
cutting
mind
edge.
blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and Halloween did take a few pages from it, which and everyone loves Halloween. Well,
but
almost everyone. Sparky might disagree with me, but most people
Halloween's
do.
Halloween's okay, but it doesn't. Jesus, we're going to lose so many subscribers from this stream.
No,
They
I
hate
love
Black Christmas
Halloween.
and
I love
Halloween.
Halloween. I love Halloween, so that's okay. But no, but this is my favorite of the three. Like, if we were going to do a ranking, this one is by far the best. I acknowledge, and I guess how I would put the original Black Christmas is one. It's one I respect way more than I enjoy. It's a movie that I respect way more than I enjoy.
Um, Again, I appreciate this movie. I think this movie is good. You can kind of tell that studio interference fucked with Morgan's vision. Can you acknowledge there are some problems with this movie in certain
Yeah,
regards?
there is a there it's messy. It's a messy, but it's a down and dirty, and this is one of those movies. Again, I can be nitpicky sometimes, but this isn't a movie that you can be too nitpicky. It's just it is what it is. It's just a fun holiday horror slasher. It's not trying to be anything more. But like I said, I think it's way more clever than some people give it credit for. But I can acknowledge that it's a bit of a mess. In a weird way, this movie, if you know the history of Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3, that poor director had so many problems, like from the studio. He had a nervous breakdown because of the damn movie. And even though it wasn't quite to the same level, it kind of parallels. I see a lot of parallels with both of these movies. And it's both movies I fucking love. But a lot of studio interference. Yeah, it's not a perfect movie, and you can go logically. And like you said, why are we throwing up all these red herrings when we know that's not what the deal is? And other things. Why is there two killers? Would it be better to make it just one or the other? But it's fun. I
No,
like it.
I
It's kind of a
again,
soap opera in a way.
it is. It is. I am for having the two killers, but not letting the audience know that there's two killers.
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean.
Like again, I think they missed a beat by having Christine Cloak's sister killed before Billy escapes. It would have been more sense for Billy to escape, and then us thinking, oh, he's escaped, and this is this, and he's hidden in shadow and stuff, so we don't know what he looks like. So it's just I don't know. That's one thing I would have done. Now maybe Glenn Morgan had planned on doing that, and the studio was kind of like, they were like, no, we don't want the audience to feel they're dumb or anything like that. So let's kind of mix things up and make them kind of think that there's all these different red herrings and stuff. And I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I I agree. Like I said, I'm not again. I'm not as picky on certain movies, and this is one that there are flaws. I can acknowledge it, but it's also one of those movies that it gives me a really really good time, so I can forgive those flaws. You got to remember, one of my favorite movies of all time is also High Tension, and if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, that ending, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of problems. But I still love the fuck out of that movie.
How did she drive the car and also kidnap her friend and then fight
It
them?
looked cool, Marty. It fucking looked cool. It fucking looked cool. I didn't say it was a perfect film. But it did. You can't argue with Aja on the fact that it fucking looked cool as fuck.
um, if where does this rank in your kind of Christmas horror movies? Is
Oh,
this a
this is
tippy
number
top?
one. This
Tippy
is
top.
my number, and not just horror. This is my favorite Christmas film. Period. This is my favorite. And there's some really great ones. I think another really great one is Better Watch Out, because I really like how we subverted the audience expectations after we hit a certain mark. I love another movie that not enough people know about called Dead End with Lin Shaye.
That's great.
That is a really fun fucking movie. P2's fun. P2's another really fun one. There's one, and I can't think of the goddamn name right now, but it's a super depressing. It's Apocalypto. You know, it's not Apocalypto, but it's the end of the world, and people are making choices. And it came out a few years ago.
Silent Night.
Yes, Silent Night. That is another Christmas movie that I fucking love. Those are some of my top picks. But the one, and I don't think anything will ever knock it off its top spot, is Black Christmas 2006. It's just fun. It's whimsy. And again, for people who have a really tough time with the holidays, or if you've had a really shitty year and you might be smiling for the kids, but in the thing you're just thinking, oh, I want this fucking year over with. Let's get out. Let's get done with it. Fuck you and your fa la la la's. This is a really good movie to just say fuck Christmas.
This is for anyone who has to crunch up their volume into their eggnog.
Basically, yes, that's a great way to put it. And you know, again, it can put you in a good mood, and then you can fake it if you've got little ones, because you don't want. It's really, this holiday is about the kiddos. You know, I know some religious people might disagree with me, but in this house, it's just about, you know, giving the kids nice memories. So. And it's about family. It's about, you know, appreciating what you have, even though capitalism might have ruined
Oh
that
yeah, no.
a wee bit.
It is the most stressful time of the year. Anyone says otherwise, it is, like, for fucking parents and for people who work in retail. And I think the only people who really enjoy Christmas are bankers. Because they like
Or
to,
kiddos. I think kiddos can enjoy it too, but sometimes even them, you know, not everyone has the perfect Christmas. Life isn't always fair, so
yeah.
it's just very cathartic. It's a comfort for me. I know this is going to sound weird, but this is a very comforting movie to me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't know why you and Christian and everyone in the community thinks I'm a downer.
You're not a downer. You just like things that are depressing. That's just...
Well, this is actually, I think, one of my more lighthearted movies.
Oh Lord. Okay.
This is a movie I can't wait when I'm up there and it's Christmas time to get a cup of hot cocoa and some freshly baked fresh cookies and snuggle on the couch and watch it with you.
Suppose I could get steak or venison or something like that.
But they have to be in the shape of angels and other Christmas things, darling. You have to kind of do the Christmas cutter cookie things.
I just have to remember in the orderly is they say it tastes like chicken.
Because it's chicken.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
There's so many, like, the one great liners. Like I said, this movie knows exactly what it's doing. Which is something I appreciate.
If you had to pair this movie with something else, what would you pair it with?
Probably Better Watch Out. That's another one. I know I've already talked about that one, but that's another movie that I wish it got love for like a second, and then people don't see. A lot of people will say, I've never seen that movie, and I'm always happy to tell people, oh, that's a wonderful one you should check out. And I love that it's also has kind of a mean spirit as Black Christmas, but maybe not quite as much. Actually, I don't think it has as quite as mean spirit as that, and I love it. And I'm not going to explain it too further for anyone who hasn't seen it, but the movie makes you think. And this was very cool for me because I've seen horror since I was 4 years old. I live, eat, and sleep and breathe it, and the movie had me because I thought, oh, this is going to be this kind of movie, and then about 30-40 minutes in the movie, I'm like, oh shit, I did not see that coming. And it was so awesome.
That one is interesting. I did mix it up with the babysitter for a while. I don't know why. I just somehow ended up mixing it up with the babysitter.
I can understand. I think one of the actresses might be the same. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. I can kind of understand now. I like better. I like Better Watch Out a little bit more than the babysitter movie. It was fun, but I like Better Watch Out a little bit more. But that's how I would pair it with. What about you? What would you pair it with?
Um,
Would you pair it with the original Black Christmas? Because I think tonally
no,
they
that
don't
that
work.
that would be that you would get whiplash from the tonal fucking shift of excuse me, of that movie and this. You would you would get tonal whiplash from those movies. Um, I don't know. Maybe see. Even You Better Watch Out, I think, is a bit mild in comparison to this.
But that might be good because as a palate cleanser, if you're someone who isn't as dark and depressing as Jen,
No,
it
I
might be a good
I
palate cleanser.
I pair it with, because it's from the same kind of era as well. I'd pair it with Dead End.
Dead End is a great one. I love Dead End. I love. You
Ray
remember
Wise is
how you
brilliant
said
in
you'd
that.
kill yourself
Ray
if I ever left you? I hope you were kidding.
Ray Wise is brilliant in that, and Lin Shay is fantastic, as you said.
Mhm.
Can kind of see the end. You can kind of see the twist coming, but it's still
It's so much fun. Again, it's one of those ones you have such a good time along the way. It's a forgivable sin. It is. It is. If you're having a good time, that you can forgive, or at least for me, if I'm having a good time with a movie and the movie isn't trying to take itself too seriously, I can give it a lot of passes. I can.
oh. As I said this once, I said it before. I don't care. Like with horror movies, I'll take stupid over boring 24/7. And again,
Mhm.
not saying this movie's stupid. It's just not boring. It's just not fucking boring. And again,
Some people
that's
would
not
say
me.
it's stupid, Marty.
That's not me dunking on fucking 74. I just think um it keeps you invested a lot more.
It
And
does.
again, the characters, that each one of the characters, it could have been so easy to make the
Paint by
girls
numbers.
this. Yeah, 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 just fucking all a bunch of fucking bimbos getting fucking whacked. Because another thing that surprised me, because I am not a fan of this genre of horror, right?
No, no, I
But
know.
I think there was enough stuff going on that made me kind of appreciate this movie.
I'm really glad. I'm glad because it is one of my favorites, and I'm glad. I don't think you love it to my level, but I think you like it a lot. I think you enjoy it and have a good time with it. I don't think anyone loves this movie as much to my level, though. In fairness,
In fairness, Jen, it has incest and flesh cookies.
it does. It does. And don't forget attempted infanticide at Christmas with the baby's first ornament, which is just so fucking charming and clever.
Now
And
organizing.
telling your kid Santa's dead, shot down by the Russians. Every year, that just such a laugh out of me. I mean, fuck anyone to actually do that to your kid. I'm not condoning it anyway. But it's in a movie, moms, it's a hard job. We've all been there.
You are aware some woman's now going to be in a court in fucking, I don't know, fucking Albania or something. Well, I watched this stream and the woman on the stream said it was okay to do this to my child. It's like,
I know.
what?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's cathartic to live through a movie, but never tell your kid that the Santa was shot down by Russians. It's really funny, but don't do it to him. It's wrong. And this is me saying it. It's wrong. But in
Don't,
a movie, sure, it's fun, but in real life, don't do that.
what you do is tell him that fucking Santa has like a riding crop and he'll beat the shit out of you if you catch him
Ooh,
up.
Santa has a riding crop?
Yeah,
Ooh,
for the
Santa,
fucking
I've been
the
a
reindeer.
bad girl. Oh, yes, for the reindeer, right?
Or he's a switch or something. Just fucking.
Ooh,
Just,
ooh, like a cat o' nine tail? Hmm.
I don't know. Would that be long enough to reach the reindeer?
Not the reindeer, goddammit! What about all the naughty girls in the world that need some discipline from old Saint Nick?
Sorry, Jen. I just had an image of Santa coming into a house. All of a sudden, Chris Hansen comes out of the cupboard. He's like, "Would you like to take a seat?" I was just here to deliver the children toys. Sir,
Take a
what
seat.
age you? What age you? Oh, 806. She told me she was 18.
Oh, Marty, I want to. Oh, that makes me like want to sit on Santa's lap and tell him all the naughty things I've done this year and see what kind of punishment Santa's gonna do. Do you
What?
think Santa likes spanking? I hope not. Oh, dear me, don't spank me, Santa, as I'm lifting up my skirt. We really got to do a Christmas porno next year.
Jesus.
Marty, think about it. This is your third Christmas with me or fourth? I've lost track.
Just like those lads over in Vietnam. Yeah, next year I won't be spending time in Christmas. Right? Right?
Speaking of Christmas, darling, I have a Christmas surprise for you. And it only happens this time of year where the magic internet holiday portal from America to Ireland is open for just a few seconds for me to hand you a special gift. Are you ready for well, it's not your only special gift, but the one we can show on stream.
Go on, so we'll give it a go. Go on, try it there.
I'm going to hand it to you, okay?
Okay.
You got it.
Oh! One, got it. Got it. I got it.
Ooh. Marty,
Ooh.
how come the present I handed you was thinner? How come that one's fatter?
I'm guessing because it dematerialized its shape.
Yeah, the time vortex thing.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Now, do you have any idea? That was something from Santa, by the way.
Okay. And I haven't seen what this is. Jen can confirm that, okay?
Yeah.
100%, no joke. Jen can confirm it. So,
what the hell are you doing?
It's
Marty, I didn't rub my vag on it because it was from Santa. It seemed wrong. I didn't rub my vag on it.
No, hold on.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a NECA figure. It's a predator.
You don't know what it is, darling. You don't know what it is.
It's a NECA predator.
I'm going to laugh my ass off if it's one of the others.
It's the thickness of the box. Makes me think it's one of the Kenner style ones. And the fact it's that bit heavier, I'm thinking it's the laser shot predator.
Uh-huh. Now, I think Santa might be giving you like two. So, like, wouldn't it be embarrassing if you got the wrong predator?
I think this is the laser shot predator. And
Okay.
anyone at home,
put your money where your mouth is, darling. Or I'll put my mouth where your mouth is.
Okay,
or
so
on your penis.
I'm going to assume this is the laser shot predator. I'm 100% it's the laser shot predator, actually.
You don't want to leave any room for a miscalculation?
No. So let's go. It's the laser shot predator.
Maybe it's underwear in the box. Maybe someone just put a bunch of their underwear in the box because they wanted to do a virtual panty raid.
Jen, thanks for using the sanitary towels to kind of. I'm joking. It's this guy here. It's the laser shot.
Oh, awesome!
Thank you very much, Viv.
Oh, I love you. Merry Christmas. Mwah, I love
Mwah,
you. I love
mwah.
you, darling. I hope
Um,
you likes it.
Jen is letting me do this because here it's officially Christmas Eve now.
Mm-hmm.
It's 25 past. Actually, it's half past midnight.
Ooh.
And yeah. So, have we any Christmas messages or anything to say to anyone?
Yeah, just you know what, guys, whether you're watching this now or sometime in the future, we thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in all year round. We really appreciate me and Marty really appreciate it. We love you guys, and we wish you guys, no matter what kind of year you had, if it's been a little bit of a rough one, things can change within a year. God knows Marty and I know that, and it can change for the better in a year because we know that really well. and
It 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 can, and like just like shit happens, and the important thing is you have people that are there for you, and the other thing is you have to be there for them as well.
Yes, exactly. And we hope that everyone watching, the only thing that comes you guys' way in 2024 is light, love, and laughter. And and things go good for y'all. We really sincerely wish that for both of you. Well, that's what we wish. We just wish everyone to have a wonderful new year and happy holidays. And we hope Santa has filled your stockings with some wonderful treats. And again, at the end of the day, if you have people that love you and accept you for who you are, you have a lot because some people don't. So you have a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And just mind yourselves out there. And I know sometimes, uh, as Jen was saying, Christmas isn't fantastic for everyone. For
No.
some people, it's a really fucking rough time of the year.
Yeah,
So
so try to be a little kinder. Like, give that person a compliment, even if you don't particularly like them. Try to do something, put a little kindness out in the world, and it can only make it a better place. So, and it can be a stranger, it can be a loved one, it could be whoever, but put a little kindness out in the world. Remember that. And remember, you never know what a person's walking through unless you're in their shoes. So just remember that.
just if you're wearing your wife's high heels or something, just make sure you don't break them, because bitches be crazy. Anyway, with that, I think I'll round it
Wait,
off here.
you said that the dog messed up the one heel of my favorite red velvet pumps. You said
Anyway,
it
with
was
that, we're going to end the
goodness.
stream here.
Wait, what the
And
fuck, Marty?
I still have fucking corns after that. Anyway, with that, we're going to end it here. And yeah, I love my girlfriend, and I love all you guys. And mind yourself. And yeah, take care. Bye now.
Penis! One more time, holiday penis!
One
I
more.
love Marty. I
It's
love all you guys.
it's one more penis till Christmas. Bye
Woo!
bye.
Woo! Make it come, make it rain just like this movie did. Make it rain, people. That's spreading kindness and lubing kindness, because comes kind of a liquidy stuff. Gelatin,
Oh,
really.
come on, ye faithful.
Beautiful. Bye,
With that,
guys.
let's get the fuck out of here. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.